Amazing, our beautiful viewer or my beautiful girl. Welcome back to Popley Podcast and Alan Hoy TV. And today I'm joined by an amazing person. But let me introduce my co-host, Kwaza, and then we'll go back to the guest of today. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Umesema you'll introduce me.
I am introducing you already. You're welcome. You tell us your name. You tell us your name.
My name is Perry, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Perry. I can see it in your face. You're really glad to be with us here. And today we have one of the most vocal person when it comes to politics in this country. He's been heard all around the nation, and we thought it wise, because we are the wisest, yeah? We thought it wise to invite him. We just want to have a very good conversation. Not communication. You'll be communicating to them, but we conversing.
We'll be conversing.
As you communicate to them. On matters, politics and leadership in this country. Nikumoto. Buda Nikumoto. But before we go to that, introduce yourself. And what you do.
Okay, thank you very much. I am Jared OYIE, but in the political space they call me Komisa. Komisa means that I'm a subscriber of communism ideologies and socialism. Communism is the state where the masses or the people are in charge of the production and the control the means of the production in their country. And socialism, now I'm from the ODM Youth League Party, and ODM Youth League Party, ODM Party, and I'm from the ODM Youth League. So the ODM Party is a socialist party. It's a party that believes in empowering and believes in protecting the interest, the rights of the people. And I've touched on the socialism and the communism part of it. So socialism is the highway towards the communism. So ODM is on the highway towards that route. On communism, can the people of Kenya, the masses of the masses in this country, be in charge on the means of the production? When we talk on the means of the production, let me take a good example of maybe agriculture. Who is in charge of agricultural product? After having the harvest from the farms, our grains are taken to the silos. Who is in charge doing the sales here? This is where we talk now, after the production. So can the people of this country, let me take an example of Trans Nzoia. Can Trans Nzoia citizens be able to negotiate and decide on the price of the grains that they are taking to the market? Yes. So that is me. Yeah.
That's how long introduction is.
No, I was giving a background check. I'm born from Homa Bay County, Ndewa, a place called Kanyamwako Sewe, where the great chief Gormaya came from.
You said the great chief Gormaya. Okay, we hear you.
The great chief came from, but today I'm in Nairobi. This is where I'm doing my politics and my businesses. And my politics is based from Karen Ward, that is Langata constituency, in Nairobi County.
Okay, so if you talk about Karen Ward, that means there is something that you're projecting in 2027 elections.
Not really. I don't want to talk about the 2027 today. Today, my main target, my main purpose is to have the ODM party having its vibrancy, have the ODM party build. There's a question that I think Perry asked me off the camera, that can the party survive maybe without the party leader? So someone like me and other youths who believes in this party be beyond RAILA Odinga, because I remember in our last NGC, National Governing Council at Bomas, RAILA Odinga instructed us and told us that we need to build the party beyond RAILA Odinga era. I'm among the few people who have hold into this idea that we can build this party beyond RAILA Odinga, and that's why we are trying to build a party based on ideology. That's why when I was giving the introduction, I touched large on the background, check the ideology. That's where we need to build it. I mean, I'll be about let's start some the party leadership and so on. Can we build this political party beyond RAILA Odinga era? Can we have the party that is going to live the next 40, 60 years or 100 years? Because today it is 20 years old years. But can we have another 20 years on top, another 40 years on top of it? This one can only be achieved when this party is going to be built on ideology. Again, with our generation, the one we have, the Gen Z, the youths, these people may not be subscribing or taking the idea from an individual, but they want to join a party on what is that party offering. If we bring Raila Amolo Odinga, or let me use Raila Amolo Odinga maybe and Rais William Ruto from UDA, if you bring them, these are individuals. They may be having individual, I don't know how I can put it, principles. But if we have a party built institutionally, and we agree that this the idea, these are the principles that we believe in and we are pursuing, I think a large number of people will find it very easy to reason with this party, join it.
But we can't run away from the fatherhood, because if we're talking about ODM, we have to talk about Raila Amolo Odinga. If we're talking about UDA, we have to talk about the likes of the President William Samoei Ruto.
We normally say Raila is ODM and ODM is Raila.
I'll agree with you, but again, we must also agree with me that during the AUC campaign, Raila Amolo Odinga seized the leadership of the ODM party. It was led by Professor Anyang' Nyong'o at acting capacity. That is one. Second, I'm agreeing with you, Alan. I'm agreeing with you. Raila Amolo Odinga is the champion of the ODM ideology. He's the flag bearer of this idea. We must agree. Because he's the one who's there at the limelight.
That's true.
Same to maybe UDA. It is William Ruto then when he was campaigning, he was the one who was having the clear definition of the Azala thing on his team. Same to ODM now. This is a vision bearer of the party. We must agree.
Sure.
But the vision bearer have also been making other people behind him. We have other leaders in the ODM. So there are those who have been nurtured for quite a good time in this party. And we must also think, that's why I've touched on having post Raila Amolo Odinga era. Can the party be here in the next other 100 years, 60 or 40 years? So we must have all these things in a mix with the young people. How are we going to approach them? So we have the vision bearer here, yes, pushing the idea, is the flag bearer, is the torch bearer, yes, but we also have the idea of the party and identity.
Very well said. In that light, you have said he's a vision bearer, ideologies, a lot of good things you said about ODM. So now, let me ask you, if he's a vision bearer, then why is there so much grumbling within ODM? Why is there so much antagonism against the likes of Babu Owino, Sifuna? I saw MP for Makadara, George Aladwa, telling Sifuna his days are numbered, simply because Sifuna had differences with people who are supporting the handshake and governance of President Ruto, in such a way that Sifuna is the SG, but now he's being bound to an extent that he cannot critique anything because they feel you are going against Raila Odinga, who's the party leader, and the party leader has had a handshake with the government. So is there really democracy in ODM, as you want to put it? In fact, in short, can anyone be able to critique or say anything against the party leader, Raila Odinga?
Now that's good. Not really ODM, but against Raila Amolo Odinga.
Can anyone really tell Baba this is wrong?
Yeah, sure. Let me start with the one for Babu Owino. We have a very clear, the D in ODM is democracy. And Babu Owino is a member of ODM party, is a life member. Babu Owino, nobody is antagonizing him within the party structure. We must agree, and Babu himself have said it severally again and again, that this thing is not being given. Raila Amolo Odinga, nobody gave him. We remember Raila Amolo Odinga at some point during the Ford even went ahead and disrupted his own father's rally. So Babu Owino is just doing rightfully what he needs to do. Nobody's going to bring into the space and tell you now take the mantle. Here nobody's giving you it on a silver platter. Right? His Excellency, I don't know, Babu Owino is just doing the right thing. He's fighting for his space, but let him do his things. And if he gets the mantle of the ODM to lead it, well and good. But again, we may disagree with him. You can't plan to inherit someone's wife while he's still living.
But is it that he wants to inherit the seat? Not really.
No. Baba is still there. Another thing, another thing, in an homestead, I'm from Amalu, in an homestead, where we have bulls, we always have only one bull. We can't have two. So the young bulls need to wait until the old bull retires off from the yard. So the bull is still here, so we can have two bulls.
But we're not talking about ODM leadership. We have even spoken with the government partnership, because Sifuna has severally.
No, I was talking about the Babu side. Okay. I'm coming to SG. So that is it. So Babu Owino is doing what is supposed to. He's doing it right. Because again, if this other bull will leave, then we'll have another one that we've been preparing for some good time.
So you say there's one bull?
We have one bull.
For now that is Raila Amolo Odinga.
We have one kingpin. We can't have two kingpins. We can't have two party leaders. No, lazima ikuwe tu moja. They can't be two. They can't be three. That is one. On SG Sifuna. During the AUC campaigns, blah, blah, and so on, we had divergent opinions. Then we were not having a signed memorandum with the, not even government, but the UDA party. The signed memorandum is between the parties, not government and opposition.
Not government and opposition.
Yeah, and opposition.
Which party makes the government?
The party that makes the government is UDA.
So when you said the UDA party and not the government, what is the difference?
Acha nimalize hii peri. Utanichanganya jamani. So Perry, when Baba was on the AUC campaign, we had two camps. I'll put it that way. We had two camps. We had a camp that was feeling that already Mzee is
two camps where within ODM? Or
within the ODM. Okay. Within ODM. Okay. There's that. Those people are feeling that we, the party, must remain with our identity as a people's party. Okay. That is the side where we have the SG Sifuna, and then we have another that was feeling that this thing we're in the government. But again, then we are not having any signed memorandum with the government of the day. So SG Sifuna was doing what his role states as the SG of the party. Is the spokesperson of the party. If you talk about Aladwa, it's just Nairobi chairperson. It's not in any capacity to talk on behalf of the ODM party.
To speak on behalf of ODM.
No, he's not having that capacity. It's SG Sifuna. We only have one spokesperson of the party and the party leader. Those are the only people who can issue official communication of the party. Okay. So SG, all through, I've been giving official communications and positions of the party. And again, besides that, the party ODM has identity. And SG is one of the leadership that holds the party identity on iBrick. So SG Sifuna have been doing that diligently. And then again, it was not only SG Sifuna. The position of SG Sifuna then was also the same position of the acting party leader Anyang' Nyong'o then. It was the same position that James Orengo was having then. It was the same position that Caleb Amisi was having then. So why is it always on SG Sifuna? This is coming out very clear because it's the spokesperson of the party. So it's always on the media, it's always on the microphones, explaining this to the people that ODM as a party have its identity as a people party. And again, this is a party that was formed out of the struggle. We all know how this party was formed. Again, on the same, when I talk about maybe then the camps which were there before we come to the signings that happened in the party. The camps which were there are those who are feeling then before we signed official memorandum with the UDA party. In fact, that it was when the signing was being done, it was not Rais Ruto, but it was the UDA party leader and the ODM party leader. If you even check the flags which were there, it was having the UDA flag and the ODM flag this other side. So it was a party.
But the UDA party leader is the president of Kenya.
Yes.
So do we negate?
The ODM party leader is the official opposition.
ODM is no longer opposition. We just know it is a political party.
Let me answer the opposition part of it. In our 2010 constitution, Jameni, tusome kitabu.
No, continue.
In our 2010 constitution,
yes,
we don't have anything called opposition in this country. We have minority and the majority.
Yes.
And then we have institutions that need to check each other.
Yes.
If we have the executive arm of government need to be checked by the legislature, and then the judiciary need to play their role properly. So first,
the three arms of the government
in our constitution. So the ODM party is a super minority party among other affiliates in Azimio.
However, yes.
Any party is formed purpose to capture political power.
Yes, true.
ODM was formed for that purpose. We are not an NGO formation to be outside here always. We have formed purpose that we want this political power to control the state machineries and state power. That is one.
So thank you for saying you are part of an Azimio coalition.
Exactly.
However, and within the coalition, you have your own, you have your agreements.
Little brothers.
No, ODM, if I may quote, I remember the party leader for PLP now, formerly in Kenya, Martha Karua. Yes, you can just say what you want to say. I remember she said, no, we have to respect.
We said we're talking about leadership.
Yes, and in terms of appropriation, in fact, your coalition partners in Azimio, if I recall very directly, they said number one, ODM is a bully. Because even when it comes to distribution of the seats, within their house, both Senate and Parliament. In fact, when we say Parliament, meaning both houses, ODM has bullied their coalition partners. That is number one. Number two, when he's talking about ODM signing an agreement, you are part of a coalition and you had your agreements in coalition. Yet you went and formed again an agreement with another political, the ruling governing party. So does ODM really have the interests of Mwananchi, or does ODM have the interests of selfish, in fact, interests about themselves? Because those are very selfish
Before
interests.
you answer that, we add on this. In fact, on whatever she has just said, Kenyans are completely mad.
You're in the interests of Baba and friends.
With Baba and friends. Because no one knew that the handshake will happen. And the way it happened at a very, very wrong time when Kenyans needed someone who can stand with them and hold their hand.
Yes.
And it's like a betrayal to Kenyans. Like, Baba, you know whatever is happening. You know the slogan that is outside here. We don't want to mention that slogan. Then Baba, instead of coming for the people, after everyone supporting for the AU seat, sorry that he failed.
Mzee pulled out from
Okay, so Mzee pulled out.
Mzee never lost. He pulled out.
Mzee withdrew.
Okay,
after withdrawing, he came back.
And us Kenyans thought like, now this is the time for Baba to stand strong for the Kenyans and save this nation to the other end. But now the handshake happened. So, as you say, whatever you're saying, adding on whatever she said, kindly bring us to the light, like what really happened in between here. Because all you're doing, you're trying to defend everything and not even trying.
I'm not defending anything.
You're defending. You're on defensive.
I am advancing the party position. Alan, I'm from our ODM party. Perry. When a young brother is complaining that they are being bullied on house leadership, we all know that Kalonzo Musyoka, that is the Wiper party, he had I think 25. And if you check the house leadership, his party members are in the leadership and committees of the house. If I'm not lying, you can check.
That's true, they're there.
Eugene has 5. 5.
DAP Kenya.
DAP Kenya's 5. So 5 sawa. Some of them are in the committee. Sarasa Verde was crying that he was removed from a committee. But again, he's put in another committee.
But he was crying, and he really mentioned he's in a committee where he has a position, but he can't use his influence to do anything. So that is like being given
to be seen,
but you cannot be heard.
Number 3.
That means he cannot influence anything at all. Whenever that position is needed somewhere, he will go there to be seen.
But let's allow Jared to explain, to expound.
And then it is good that the 3 at least were letter key too. At least they brought numbers that could be given leadership in the house. But the one you mentioned, giving an example,
they brought numbers. So it's about numbers and
numbers, exactly.
Politics is about numbers.
Let's spill the seats.
No, not
because there is what we call traction. There is what we call.
Let him.
Okay, so I will forget what
umeniambia swali hapo karibu 10. So Perry, in fact tukatumia ya PLP party leader. Pale alikuwa anataka leadership pale kwa house. Tupe nani? Na ana mbunge hata moja.
No battery shut down.
So the first umesema vizuri na. The first is the numbers that you bring in the house. And we from ODM party. I'm here. I'm not defending ODM, but I must advance, protect this party, and also defend it both in private and even in public. As has been it here. That is one. That's what I'm saying.
So that okay. On the defense,
but I must also put things clear besides defending it. I must say this clarify.
Now the word is clarified.
Clarification. So I think.
No, I get you. I had said that, and you are talking about signing a coalition.
Yeah, the signing of the coalition. Thank you. On the signing of the coalitions, I'm going to agree with you that you are going to agree with me that immediately we lost. I'll say that the 2022 election. You remember some of our brothers, UDM and other parties, jumped to the front.
So now ODM can say
they lost. At the court. At the court. At the court.
So you lost at the court.
At the court.
Not at the ballot.
No, we won at the ballot.
Okay, you lost at the court.
At the court.
Okay.
So we remember our brothers. Some of our brothers jumped the floor.
It's okay.
We never lost the ballot. We won.
They won at the ballot. They lost at the court.
At the court, they said they used some terms that. So We remember that immediately after the court throwing out our petition, some of our brothers jumped the floor the other side and left at this other side because they felt that it was done with us.
Okay.
And another thing that we must also agree, ladies and gentlemen, is that this party that we want to now crucify, that maybe at some point failed Kenyans during the Gen Z protest. You people must remember that 2023 we were on the street. 2023, before 2023, 2021, 2020, we are on the street. So we have been on the street. ODM was
2020 there was COVID.
There was COVID.
No one was protesting.
No, before 2020.
We were protesting in our homes.
So ODM as a political party, first, before I come to your question, Alan, has been on the street, and that is what some of us during the 2022 campaign, it was even being used against us. Watu kwa rally, watu kwa rusha mawe. Because we have been on the street
all manner
for the people, for the people, not for us. That is one. Second. On the signing of the MOU, that we must agree, it was in fact not even a handshake, it is signed MOU. We must have a country to protect. We only have one Kenya. We can't go the Congo way. We can't go the Sudan way. We can't be Somalia. We must be Kenya. We are the big brother here in East Africa. The stabilized Kenya is stabilized East Africa. We must agree. That is one. When power was poured to the street on June 25th, before June 25th, this thing has been building up. In fact, from the 2023 financial year, that 2023 financial year, that ODM as a political party stood against, if you people can remember. And then the 2022 financial year came, then the Gen Zs built it up from where ODM left it. So
the Gen Zs built from ODM?
From the ODM protest. Wasn't
it initiated from Wananchi themselves? And the whole protest was birthed against the finance bill?
What I mean, 2023 we had a finance bill that ODM protested against, that was very oppressive. And then I want to talk about the power being, when you are telling me about when Wananchi felt that we betrayed them. That's the part I'm coming to. I think it's very important for us to get it right here. We never betrayed Kenyans. We have remained for Kenyans. We have remained for Kenyans. And there's a party, as I'll put it, even on the party leader out of maybe this equation, there's a party that has always been in the forefront for the better Kenya. I've mentioned some of few countries which are so destabilized politically, and we can't do a thing against or about it. When the power was put to the street, we had three options. The Gen Zs were disorganized, and we must agree. They were leaderless. We were leaderless. Who's going to take power and lead it? Nobody was a leader there. That is one. Second, we remember some of my peers. I was on the street. My peers, alikuwa naitwa Alisa someone, if I can't remember the name, said, Baba ka nyumbani, umefanya kutosha. Na Baba aka-endorse. Young people carry the struggle on. This is a generational struggle. Mzee and his comrades that they have been struggling. We are not going to blame 80 years old gentleman who have dedicated his life for this country for the quite long time, with the scars of the liberation of the struggle, walking with the handkerchief every day, wiping the tears, not only tears but the struggle that you have seen through with his comrades. That is one. Second, we must agree. Second, we are not. I'm very young today to blame RAILA Odinga for the message that we are seeing today. These freedoms we are having, the constitution and everything, it did and have done its part perfectly for me. ODM as a party is not going to be crucified for betraying Kenyans. We have to do what is right for this country. We couldn't allow Kenya to be a military state. That was the only option. RAILA Odinga is a statesman. So mnataka RAILA ingie pale nyuma ya Yendambewa, what do we call it?
When do you
yes. So RAILA Odinga.
What is it?
Yendambewa. Babakundo. Like through a coup. No. RAILA Odinga.
That is ODM language.
RAILA Odinga couldn't get into power through like a coup, like something. We had a sitting president who had at the oath. You get. That is true. So we couldn't go the military way.
Can I take you back somewhere?
And then we couldn't go through a coup, something like a coup thing, like they come and destroy RAILA Odinga for that.
So in short, which route did you people choose?
The route that we chose for us to have a stabilized country. With the government which is there, we could find a way. Baba have been telling us that can we fix this country from within.
So you felt the Gen Z protests were going to destabilize the country?
I'm a Gen Z. I was on the protest. They were leaderless. What are they going to do? Who was going to occupy that office?
So you felt you felt they were going to destabilize.
Already the country was going. What was going to destabilize the country if it could have gone the military way?
Is there's the feeling that probably ODM took advantage because people felt that Raila Odinga for once saw people organized marching without him being on the front, and somehow now he had to capture attention and take advantage of this.
In fact, this one has been pinned to maybe appointment of us donating some 5 CSS to the government.
Donating.
Donating. When we donated John Mbadi.
Okay, you donated. I like the word. I like the word. The choice of terminology. Wow. You donate and they earn a salary. Okay, I like it. You donated.
Even the choice of resources is using over here.
We donated.
It's completely. Let me not use this.
But now let us no. Okay.
We unpack these things here today.
Okay, but you can say it on a jocular manner, and I get it. You say you donated, but they are busy earning our taxes.
So when they
No, that's the thing.
The thing is, what I'm saying,
it's simply trying to say the government was not much enough capable of doing this, so they had to come to us to give them who can help them
exactly.
Remember you said that.
So the thing is,
Remember you said
the thing when I was saying about donation, this was out of the NADCO conversation at Bomas, which was led by Stephen Musyoka.
Because the very Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who's the party leader for WIPA, I remember Kalonzo saying, us telling Raila that him having an MOU with the government is a betrayal to Kenyans. And when Raila was signing the MOU with the Ruto, he cited the NADCO report. And this NADCO report was birthed from Azimio coalition, not ODM as an individual party. However, ODM goes to sign an MOU with the government with a report from a coalition. So how? When you're signing the MOU with the government, where were the other partners of Azimio coalition? Because they've said it's a betrayal. Martha Karua strongly condemned it, you see. And people say she left Azimio, but she left Azimio verbally.
Yeah.
She has not left it in deed, or am I stand to be corrected?
Martha have been living, I think, more than 10 times.
but verbally.
I don't know why, living and living.
No, you should put it right.
So I have seen statements being made by your former coalition partners. I want to call them former. Your coalition partners. So how is it that as a coalition, which was Azimio, you go to Bomas, ask views of Wananchi, and then there's the NADCO report. And then you as an individual party take this report, run with it, and go and make an agreement with somebody else without consultation of your coalition members. And you take just advantage of it and use it as your own, yet it was not backed by ODM as a party.
Now, you people want to roast ODM here. ODM as a party, it's just agitating.
We are putting ODM to accountability.
Exactly.
And he said
to put the things straight.
Yes.
Communicate, Cindy.
Yes.
As converse.
No, we are
conversing and communicating.
Yes. Now, ODM as a party, I think NADCO report was started to be implemented long ago. So we have been the state has been very slow on the implementation of this report. That is one. Second, the NADCO report itself was generated from Bomas, and over and over again we have been quoting the chair. It was Kimani Ichung'wah and Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. We must agree that our small brothers in the coalition,
they are small.
You call them small brothers.
Okay, you are small brothers.
Okay.
You are small brothers.
Our small brothers in the coalition. Some of them felt.
You don't even see them as partners. You see them as small brothers.
We are brothers in the coalition.
So
our partners.
No. He goes back to, remember when he started saying ODM is democratic. Now when you use the word our small brothers, that means the big brother has all the say. He can do whatever he wants. Just the way he did with the NADCO report. The coalition not involved in whatever. Let me go sign all these things. I'll just go bully these small brothers and sisters to do whatever.
And they will do what I want.
No. How long am I scooting me?
Okay, let him clarify. Let him give the position.
Let me clarify this.
There was a betrayal somewhere.
Let him clarify.
Clarify to Kenyans.
Let me clarify this. When I say small brothers, it's not the meaning, that is first. I think this always comes with the numbers that